Hello, everyone, this is part 3. Are you ready to watch? Enjoy this show. After reviewing all the evidence, the judge awarded me primary custody of Aron. Sofia still has visitation rights, but they're limited to supervised visits for now. The judge said her behavior and decision-making were concerning, especially given the late-night parties and her continued involvement with Drake during our separation. When the decision was announced, Sofia lost it. She started crying and yelling in the courtroom, accusing the judge of being biased and claiming this was all some conspiracy to ruin her life. The bailiff had to escort her out because she wouldn't calm down. I thought that would be the end of the drama for the day, but I was wrong. That evening, Sofia showed up at my place unannounced. She was banging on the door and screaming about how I stole Aron from her. Aron was asleep, thank God, but I didn't want her causing a scene and waking him up. I opened the door just enough to tell her to leave, but she shoved her way inside, ranting about how she was going to fix this and get her son back. I told her to calm down and leave before I called the police. That's when she said something that made my jaw drop. "You think you're so perfect? You don't even know the whole truth," she yelled. When I asked her what she meant, she smirked and said, "You think Aron's really yours?" I felt like the ground had been ripped out from under me. I told her to leave immediately and slammed the door behind her. My hands were shaking as I locked it. Once she was gone, I just sat there, trying to process what she'd said. Was she lying to mess with me, or was there actually some truth to it? The next day, I called my lawyer and told him what happened. He suggested getting a paternity test to confirm Aron's parentage. At first, I felt guilty even considering it. Aron is my son, no matter what. But if there's any chance Sofia was telling the truth, I need to know. For his sake as much as mine. I've scheduled the test for next week. In the meantime, I'm trying not to let this consume me. Aron is my priority, and I'm not going to let Sofia's toxic behavior ruin our bond. As for Sofia, she's been eerily quiet since her outburst. No texts, no calls, nothing. Part of me wonders if she's plotting something, but I'm staying vigilant and documenting everything. Thanks for all the support, Reddit. This community has been a lifeline through all of this chaos. I'll update once I have the paternity test results. I'm back with an update that's shaken me to my core. I finally got the results of the paternity test, and Aron isn't mine. I can barely type this without my hands shaking. Aron, the boy I've loved and raised as my son for the past 5 years, isn't biologically mine. When I got the results, I felt a mix of emotions: heartbreak, anger, confusion. How could Sofia do this to me? How could she lie about something so monumental? And most importantly, how do I navigate this without letting it hurt Aron? My first instinct was to confront Sofia, but I decided to handle this carefully. I met with my lawyer first to discuss what the results mean legally. He said the paternity issue doesn't necessarily change the custody arrangement, especially since I've been Aron's legal father since birth. However, it could open the door for Sofia to challenge custody if she gets her act together or if Aron's biological father decides to get involved. That thought made my stomach churn. I haven't told Aron anything yet. He's too young to understand, and I don't want him feeling confused or rejected. As far as I'm concerned, he's still my son, no matter what the DNA says. But I know this revelation is going to have ripple effects, and I need to prepare for whatever comes next. As for Sofia, I finally confronted her about the test results. When I told her what I discovered, she didn't even look surprised. Instead, she smirked and said, "So what? You're still his father in every way that counts. Why does it matter?" I couldn't believe her audacity. I asked her if she knew who Aron's biological father is, and she shrugged like it was no big deal. "It could be one of a few people," she said. A few people. I walked out before I said something I'd regret. The level of betrayal I feel right now is hard to put into words. I've decided to continue the custody fight as planned. Aron is my son in every way that matters, and I'm not letting Sofia's lies take him away from me. At the same time, I'm bracing myself for the possibility that his biological father might show up one day. I don't know how I'll handle that if it happens, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. In the meantime, I'm focusing on being the best dad I can be for Aron. He didn't ask for any of this, and he deserves to feel loved and secure no matter what. Thanks for all the support and advice, Reddit. This community has been a lifeline through the toughest time of my life. After the paternity test bombshell, I've been focusing on staying calm and keeping things stable for Aron. He's my priority, and I refuse to let Sofia's lies and drama derail his life any more than they already have. But of course, Sofia isn't done stirring the pot. This week, she filed a motion to modify the custody arrangement. Her reasoning? She claims that since I'm not Aron's biological father, I shouldn't have primary custody. She even had the audacity to suggest that Aron should live with her full-time because he deserves to be with his real family. Hearing that made my blood boil. Sofia has never been interested in being a full-time parent. This is about control, not Aron's well-being. My lawyer assured me that Sofia's motion is weak at best. The court already recognized me as Aron's legal father, and the bond we've built over the years carries significant weight. Still, this is another battle I didn't want to fight. And then something unexpected happened. Drake reached out to me again. This time, he wanted to meet in person. I was hesitant at first, but curiosity got the better of me, so we met at a coffee shop. He seemed genuinely remorseful and even nervous, which was a stark contrast to the cocky persona I remembered. Drake told me that after his fallout with Sofia, he started reflecting on everything and realized how toxic she is. He admitted that she had lied to him about me, our marriage, and even Aron. According to Drake, Sofia told him I was abusive and neglectful to justify her affair. But here's the kicker, Drake said he might be Aron's biological father. He explained that Sofia hinted at it during one of their fights but never gave him a straight answer. Now he's wondering if he should get a paternity test to confirm it. He said he doesn't want to disrupt Aron's life but feels he has a right to know the truth. I didn't know how to respond. On one hand, I appreciate Drake coming forward and owning up to his mistakes. On the other hand, the idea of him being Aron's biological father adds another layer of complexity to an already messy situation. For now, I told Drake to hold off on any tests until we've consulted with my lawyer. The last thing I want is for this to turn into a circus. Meanwhile, Sofia has been sending me increasingly unhinged texts. She keeps accusing me of turning everyone against her and threatening to take Aron away for good. I've saved every message and passed them along to my lawyer. The next court date is coming up soon, and I'm preparing for whatever Sofia throws my way. My focus is on protecting Aron and ensuring he grows up in a loving, stable environment. Thanks again for all your support, Reddit. It's been a roller coaster, but your advice and encouragement have kept me going. So let's start with Drake. After we met at that coffee shop, I didn't hear from him for a few days. I figured he'd let it go, but nope, he showed up at my place unannounced, demanding to talk. I wasn't in the mood for another round of his guilt trip, but I listened. He said he had gone to a clinic and had a paternity test done in secret. He handed me the results. Turns out, Drake is Aron's biological father. I don't even know how to process this. Part of me feels relieved in some weird way, at least now I have the full truth. But another part of me is heartbroken. I've been raising this kid for 5 years, and now I'm faced with the fact that he's not mine biologically. Drake, on the other hand, is clearly looking for a way to insert himself into Aron's life. He said he wanted to be a part of his life and do right by him. But I wasn't having any of it. I told him flat out that while I appreciated the honesty, he wasn't going to swoop in and start playing the dad role after all these years. Aron's my son, no matter what the DNA says, and I'll be the one raising him. Drake seemed disappointed, but he didn't push it. He left quietly, but I'm sure this won't be the last I hear from him. Now, on to Sofia. She's spiraling in a way I've never seen before. Since the paternity results came out, she's been nonstop calling, texting, and even showing up at my door again, demanding to see Aron. She's playing the victim, as always. She's been telling anyone who will listen that I stole her son and that I'm punishing her for something that wasn't her fault. She's still holding on to the delusion that somehow, I'm the one who's been wrong in all of this. But this week, things hit a breaking point. During a custody hearing, Sofia had a full-on meltdown. She was already on edge, but when the judge brought up her behavior, she started shouting that the system was against her. She accused the judge of protecting a man who's abused her and even made wild claims about how I bribed the court for a favorable ruling. It was like watching a train wreck in real time. She was completely out of control, and it was clear to everyone in the room that she was losing it. The judge, who'd been patient with her up until this point, finally had enough. He warned her that if she continued with this behavior, her visitation rights could be further restricted. He also ordered a mental health evaluation, which I think was long overdue. I've been trying to stay focused on what's best for Aron, but watching Sofia unravel like this is starting to worry me. I'm scared she's going to try something drastic, especially with the looming possibility of Drake's involvement. I'm keeping the pressure on her to stick to the court-mandated visitation schedule. She's been trying to get me to back off, but I'm not budging. This fight is for Aron's future, and I'm not going to let her destroy it. Thank you all for your continued support. I'm doing my best to keep everything together for Aron's sake. The next few months are going to be challenging, but I know I can get through it with all of you behind me. Thank you for watching. I ask you to help me. Subscribe to my channel, put likes, and do not forget to comment. Thank you. See you in another video.